In the previous episode, we tackled some undesired areas and gave them a much needed upgrade, improved some servers' alleyways, and made sure we had no more overflow problems. But in this week's episode, we tackle a project that I've never done before, and it involves this backpack and all of these items that you will find in said backpack. Yes, that's correct. We're going to see to automating the first part of the create mod, which is the Andesite age. And we're going to do it all in this area right over here in our brand new building. Hello everybody, I'm Dio and welcome back to a brand new episode here on the Create End Only world, where we've been slowly building up this gigantic cyberpunk-ish city. But like mentioned, we've reached a point where we need to start automating some of these create components and items, because I spend a lot of time between episodes crafting a bunch of these things up. And well, it's time for us to seriously look at automating a bunch of these things. So yes, I think it's time for us to build our first little mall. Well, in our case, it's not going to be a mall, it's rather going to be a shop that crafts and automates a bunch of these items that we can just run into and pick up. And what I did between episodes is I just divided it into these categories. Note that if we go through here, it's not all the items that we get in Create. There are stuff like the mechanical crafters or linear chassis and stuff like that that I have not added to this wall yet, because I think if we need to automate every single one of the create components, it could turn into a very big and long episode. So what I think I need to do is pick one and we're going to run with that. And I think we might start off with this, and we might even do all of it, we might only do half of it, but the point is that we start with something very basic. But also I think it's important to note that we've got input items, so these are some of the items that we need to still automate so we can do all of this. There are different input items, like for example sand and redstone, which we need in this little process, and quartz and stuff like that we already have produced. But there are other items that we don't, for example barrels, industrial iron. It's not really one we need for create, but I do need it for these three items over here, because whenever we build with create components and the hidden, I use the standard, but when I use decoration and stuff, I use these three because they go better with girders and so forth. So that's another one. Copper's on here, we don't really need to automate it. We do have quite a substantial amount. I might just look at increasing that copper production if need be, if this takes too much. Then we have andesite alloy, we need to automate that. We've got the iron, we've got the andesite, so we should be fine. And then a kelp farm. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got 3 pieces of kelp to my name. 4 if you count the one in the frame up there. So we really need to look at a kelp farm, but it's not going to be this episode. It'll only be maybe the next one, because I've set my mind on building this shop. So those will be our input items. Like mentioned, some of them will automatically directly feed into the shop, some of them we still need to automate, and I think we will automate the andesite alloy itself. Then we're going to jump into these, and I want to start with these blocks, which are the basics. For example, we don't need to make more andesite casing, we already have a little factory for that, so we'll just maybe move the storage and upgrade it. We need to automate shafts, we need to automate depots, mechanical presses, the different cogs, the 2 types of gearboxes, mechanical saws, funnels and funnel, chute, belt, which won't be able to happen now, the in-case chain drives, basins, portable interfaces, and well, I don't know about this one yet. So there's quite a lot that we have to do, and before we can do any of that, I think we need to maybe first plan a build. So I'm gonna hop into a creative world and see what I can come up with that will fit in this area, because I think this is proper, so we can do something really big, really nice over here, and then we'll just have to find a place to do the secondary age, which is the browse age. And I do kind of think it should either be in this area or it should be in the upper area, because it is a more luxurious block. But we will feed all of these items maybe into the central storage room, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, to a creative world I go. So, a little note. It was at this point in this recording process that I decided I want to tweak the audio. So, you're going to hear a big difference between the audio from the previous clip and all the clips to follow. So, let me know down in the comments. Do you like the new audio settings? I think it sounds a lot better. So, I've spent some time in a creative world and I think I came up with a pretty decent looking building for this spot over here. I did go a bit bigger, so it's going to pop out to the front quite a bit. It's going to get quite tight on this side. I think I left like a 3 wide gap, and then we're also going quite far back. So it's going to be a big building. And to build this big building, we're going to need a lot of blocks. So I'm quickly going to grab all the necessary blocks, and I'll meet you guys at the schematic cannon. I honestly don't know why I ever say quickly. I'm quickly going to grab a few blocks. I'm quickly going to do this because it never goes quick. Can't wait for Create V6 because then we can pop the clipboard into our storage system and get a bunch of stuff that way. But for now, this is our clipboard. Let me grab it real quick. And these are the materials we're going to need. So it's quite a lot. I didn't add those leafy vines because I thought they were just going to be decorative, but they grow. They grow and they grow all over. So we've got everything, we've got this all set up, we've got these settings right, and everything's ready for us to go, which means it's time for you guys to grab yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, sit back, relax, as we build a time lapse. Oh, okay, skeleton, cue music. Anyway, sit back and enjoy. And we're doing something different. We're starting at the back of the building because it looks good, but the front looks better. And I just want to make sure everybody sees how cramped it is. I still feel like we need something in this general space. It just feels way too open, but it might change as we go up. But if we head on down here, we've got this whole area over here. And I love this detail. I love that little detail. And I'm still going to do something in this area. But over here, we've got the back entrance to the building. And then if we walk around, this is still very clean. We're going to clutter it up, add more bricks and barrels and dirt on the floor and so forth. But then we've got all this detail, and it's really hard to see the detail because we're cramped between two buildings, but I love it. I love this building so much, and I think it stands out from the other builds because we incorporated a lot more of the create blocks. But I think what we need to do is maybe just fly over here, so we can just get a nice feel for this build. And yeah, that looks pretty sick. Can I zoom a bit? Yeah, I don't want to zoom in that much. I do love the build. It's very simple and not too... Well, it's got a lot of detail, but I mean, it's not overly detailed. It's kind of... I don't know what I want to say. I just love it. And I think it all looks so cool. And then we've got builds that we will do in that area. And I've got something that I think I want to do in that area. But overall, I think the city is really, really coming together. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited to fill up the bottom level and to start expanding to the top. But for now, we need to tackle this space. And the general idea is that if I need any of my create stuff that you... Like basically these type of things. The start to create items. If I need any of them, I can run in here and I can click and I can grab a stack of whatever or 2 stacks. And then I can leave. And then also we'll be making those items in this building. And that's why we have so many floors. So over here, I want to make a certain item. Over here, we can do another one. I said maybe another machine. And if we head up here, there's quite a few spaces because I want to put the machines down there. So we'll put in here as many machines as humanly possible all the way around. And then up here, we've got some more machines. So the idea with the different floors, this one will contain all the mechanical craft recipes. So we'll plonk them all on the side. So you'll come up, you'll have a little walkway, and you'll have all the mechanical crafters on that wall. And then the idea with these are this is where you'll make stuff like shafts and basins and depots and whatnot. Okay, I'm just mentioning a bunch of stuff. I'm not really sure what we're going to make in here. And then I was thinking we can make andesite alloy in this little space, and then whatever we make in this little space. So I think what I need to do is I need to set up the depot system with the little storage drawers and everything that's going to deposit our items onto the depot. And then we know exactly what we have and what we need to fit into the space. Okay, so we've got a bunch of items and now it's just all about placing them down. So first thing I want to do is I just want to fill the bottom layer with normal andesite casing, and we will change it, rip it out, whatever as we go. But the reason for that being, well, you're going to see that block behind it. If we didn't have anything there, we'll just have a void, and I don't really want that. So we've got a total of 9 on this wall, and I was thinking we can add 2 more over here. That way we've got a total of 11. And then we're going to run through and we're going to place down 11 chests as well, or not chests, drawers. So the reason for that being, now we can go ahead, we can lock all of these real quick, like so. So we've got those. Let's just quantify them as well. Which one did I quantify? I don't know. We'll see now. We'll do that. And now we've got our drawers. And now what we can do is we can maybe rip out this block. Yeah, I think we can rip out that one. And then let's grab ourselves a... Maybe we should not do the controller up here. We're going to have to get a drawer controller in here, but I don't think it's necessary for here. So let's just put that there. And now the idea is that we do 11 of the items that we're going to produce in this area on these. So for example, we'll do andesite casing we're going to have in here. And once this fills up, or once it produced 64, it will deposit 64 onto the depot. So that's going to look something like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add one of these on here. So if we do this, and then we can say exactly 64. So now it will not have anything in it, but if we were to place those back in, which we can't do, it'll only take out exactly 64. So we can run in here, grab 64 of whatever we need and head on off. And I think that's going to look pretty cool. I think so. So I'm going to sort out everything that we want to produce in here, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so this place is not nearly done, but already I think it looks so cool when you walk in here. So you walk in and you have all these displays. Currently, these are not 64 of either item, but the reason why I left it like this, so it will always like take out exactly 64. But I left it as, say, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever amount of items, because that way I know if I've built a contraption yet or not. So what I think is down here, we have to start with the very basics, which is andesite alloy. So if we grab andesite alloy and we push R on it, we can see there's a variety of different recipes. These are the crafting grid recipes. We're going to skip those. We're also not going to auto craft, because if you auto craft with the mechanical crafter, you need 2 iron nuggets and 2 andesite alloy of andesite to get 1 andesite alloy. And well, you can crush, but if we go to mixing, you can do it using 1 andesite and 1 iron nugget will give you andesite alloy. So this is the contraption we're going to use. So we're going to need a basin, a mixer, and well, 2 inputs and output. So that's basically it. So we already have the output destination. So we just need to get everything ready and build it in this area. Well, I'm looking at this now and I'm busy crafting the mixer, and I saw we've got a bunch of different ones and I never noticed that they do different things. This is the standard one, but this one mixes 2 times faster if the recipe only uses items. So this will be a better one. It's now not the normal andesite color, but I think it's fine because the mechanical crafters will be brass as well. So we're going to opt for that one rather instead. Okay, now the rest of the items. So I do believe I have all the items. So how it's going to work is we're going to have our little andesite casing, which is only for me to elevate this thing. And now I'm thinking, yeah, we want to put power at the back of it, so we don't really want to see the power. So this is perfect. And we're going to have our mixing bowl or basin right over here. And we're going to say recipe andesite alloy, because we don't want it to make a variety of different things. And then we need to do something like this, which will be output. And then that can directly put back into this. Is this big enough? That's good. I'm just going to use this for now just so we can see. Yeah, that can work. That can work, but we can opt for a normal andesite funnel there. Okay, let's do that. So we can do that. So we know that's going to pick that up. And on this side, we need to have a output of a certain item. Can we make this really tight again? Oh, we won't be able to, because we're going to have to put into this, but also extract, and we can't do that. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to shift it all up one. We can put that in the wall itself. Okay, so I had to rebuild this twice, because when it was one higher, it kind of protruded into the top story, and I was scared it was going to influence the top build. So I rather dropped it down, and I actually don't mind, because now I don't have to see the full side of these drains, because they're ugly. I don't like them. But that's all been connected, and it's also connected to this little system over here. So we should be able to just plug this into the main storage line, and it should work. Also, we're really fortunate because right underneath this, we do have our main power line running as well. So we could just tap into that. So basically, if we just do this, yeah, it can go past because we're going to use that on top. But we now have some rotational power there, and we just need to, like mentioned, plug this into the main storage area, which if I do believe if we go in here and oh, it's this way around, I think. Yeah, go down here around the squiggly part. Right over here is where we connect. And now I just need to get my bearings straight. I do think that runs over there. There's the storage drawer. So the trim should be right above this. So if we go up, no, that's too close. It's right over here somewhere. Oh, I'm a totally the wrong area, I guess. Now where's that block? I've got the right idea. I'm just in the wrong area. Okay, I can't find it. I'm just gonna do that. It's this one. We have to talk about this one. See, there's the trim. So we literally just need to connect it to this one over here. So if I were to rip that one out, and we have 4 left, and we do the I do think that's gonna show on top now. Yeah, that is. Let's maybe rather just do this. Okay, that should work. So if we go all the way back, all the way to over here, we can hear something's happening. Okay, we've got that coming out, we've got that going in, and we have iron nuggets. So that's the first one. We currently making, no, it's over here, which, well, basically andesite alloy. I guess we can do that. We don't need a filter on there because we'll be able to see the item, but because we can't see it yet, I guess we can do that. I don't know. Basically now, once this storage system reaches 64 andesite alloy, you can see we've got 54 at the top there, 55, 64. It should empty out, and there you go. So we've got a full stack of 64 andesite alloy. So that's the idea. You come in here, you grab it, and then it will only replenish again once we have an additional 64, which I think is cool. I think it's really cool to have a place where we can just run in and get everything. And I have to admit, this has been requested so many times. So to each and every one of you that requested this, it's happening. It's finally happening. But now what I think we need to do is, instead of me boring you guys with building each and every single one of these little contraptions, I'm going to get them all in, troubleshoot everything, and place them all in the right place. And then once we're ready, we'll turn them all on at once, and then we'll see how we get all these items made. So yeah, let me go build a few contraptions. So the internals of that building has been built, and you can see we knocked off quite a few items from the to-do list, or the more list, whatever you want to call it. But if we head on over here, you'll also notice that I did a little bit of beautification out on the front. And then we've got all of this made. A bunch of them have already filled up. If we look at the system, let's look over here. You can see we've got a full drawer of cogs and in case chain drives, shafts, all those type of things. And the reason for that being is the power that we require for the builds at the very top, well, they come from this single shaft running upwards, this one over here. So we couldn't really test any of the things upstairs if we didn't let, say, this run or that run. But anyway, so on the side we've got andesite alloy being made, and that's filled up. And over here we've got casing, and I just connected it to the tree farm, and we're using stripped what do you call this, cherry logs to turn into andesite casing. But before we go up, I need to go show you something in the wood farm real quick. So if we run on over here, we've added this part in over here, which just turns one stripped log into 6 planks. So we do have plank production for the cherry logs, and the reason for that, well, you'll see as soon as we reach the second story. So let's head on up here. Boop. And I've managed to compact this a lot more than what I thought. So we've got all of this space open. So I will see if we can add something else. But currently we have the planks coming in. Planks coming in, shafts coming in from the top, and that gets turned into small cogs. And then we have exactly the same on this side, but we've got 2 planks coming out, shafts coming in and turning into big cogs. Then this one produces, I keep on forgetting the word, chain drives, andesite chain drives, which again, andesite casing, which requires 1 andesite casing and 3 iron nuggets that move down, and that gets turned into a single, no, I think it gets turned into 2. Well, I can't remember, but it turns into chain drives. Over here we take 1 andesite alloy, saw it down, and that gives us a total of 6 shafts, where usually it takes 2 andesite alloy to make 8 shafts. Now we can use 2 to make 12 in the long run. So it's a lot more efficient. But then if we head on up here and we go into this little area, we've got all our automatic crafting. And I went ahead and made it look a little bit pretty. We had to modify the roof to fit the bottom level stuff in here. And well, this corner is not one of the prettiest corners due to this window being here. I don't know if we should rip out the center window and just make it a solid block. And that way we can have a door over here. But nonetheless, we've got all the little parts back here feeding into these crafting grids, and these have been crafting different items. So the only 2 currently running is the mechanical crafter creating the gearboxes, and then this one over here turning normal gearboxes into vertical gearboxes. We don't have enough. What don't we have here? Oh, we don't have enough iron sheets because we need iron sheets to make the chutes, and we don't have dried kelp to make the funnels. And also we don't have the dried kelp on this side to make the belts, which is clear. We need to automate the production of iron sheets as well as a kelp farm and cooker to make dried kelp so we can make belts and those type of things. But not this episode, no. That will have to be a project maybe for the next one or for future DO. Then, like mentioned, we did add this little part over here, and it's just a little bit of beautification to see if we can uplift this part of the city. And before I go ahead and do all of it, I would like to get your guys' input on what do you think of this? Do you think it could work? We could even head on into, say, a little cheap TV free cam and just see from afar. I do think it looks quite nice. We really need to cut that glowberry vine, because that's a bit tall. But I do like what it looks like, and I'm sure if we extend it further along this, it will just liven up this little edge a little bit more, which I don't know. I think it's highly overdue for some more beautification in this area. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about the mall, the possibility to run in, grab what I want, and just continue building, and also to knocking off some more items on this list. But I think we'll have to automate maybe a few of, well, we can take that one off and we can take this off. we'll maybe have to automate some of those so we can get into some of these. I also think I'm not going to automate these because we don't use them enough to justify them being manually made or automatically made. Same goes for this one, and same goes for those two. So I would much rather automate those, and the remainder of these items. So yeah, that's going to be a second wall, but for now, we're going to focus on these in the next episode or the next few episodes. But now, it's time for us to update the population counter. We're currently standing on 10,450 citizens. That means the population has grown with a total of 43 new subscribers. Want to be part of the population? Then smash that subscribe button and we'll add you to the counter. But that's gonna sadly be it for this episode. We spent quite a lot of time on this build and automating everything, but it was totally worth it, and I can't wait to just make use of the convenience this shop offers. So if you did like this video and you haven't done so yet, do subscribe, as it really helps out the channel, and also smash that like button so you don't miss out on the next episode. And also down in a comment, let me know what do you think of the basic Andesite Age shop, and what would you like to see in the future for this series. Till next time, bye for now.